Well, joining us now is the man at the center of the entire storm in this political war that has broken out between the Aam Aadmi Party on one hand and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on the other. BJP MP Kirti Azad joins us now, and he has made his own series of serious allegations about the way the DDCA has allegedly been run all this time. Mr. Azad, let me first ask you about the charges that you're making on the DDCA. Why aren't you coming out and directly naming Arun Jaitley? You've been sort of making insinuations and you've listed a lot of serious accusations, but you haven't really taken his name. Are you suggesting that there is impropriety on his part, whereas, until now he's had a very clean personal record, no one has ever made an allegation against him?
Nidhi, why do you want to create a wedge between me and my leader? It is no doubt that all the irregularities, the fraud took place during his tenure. Maybe he didn't know about it. But the unfortunate part is, according to Accounting Standards 18, if you're a key management person, his name has been there from 2008, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 31st December. And the maximum fraud took place around this time, because EPIL had left in 2008. They had completed the stadium according to the sanctioned building plans and had left at that time. And then the fraud you must have seen yesterday when I showed you all the fraud companies. So obviously they must be having fraud bank accounts. Obviously they must have evaded taxes, which could be service tax, sales tax, income tax, and so many things. So this is basically fraud. What SFI was looking into, they never got the papers. And they have said they have really charged them on 62 counts. You whether call them financial irregularities, it's not 1,000 rupees. It's talking about 150 crores plus.
No, I want to read out to you what Arun Jaitley said in Parliament today, which I'm sure you heard as well. One, he's of course completely denied these allegations. He said that the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, which you made a reference to, also didn't find any fault with the expenditure and the cost that was incurred. He said it cost 114 crores to build Kotla with a capacity of 42,000, whereas when the Congress was in power, you had the JLN Stadium that was renovated for 900 crores, the Dhyan Chand Stadium for 600 crores. This is what Mr. Jaitley has said. On the face of it, then this doesn't seem to be such a big deal. The 114 crores, for instance, for the stadium.
Well, at Dharamshala, which is a beautiful cricket stadium, which has been made by Anurag Thakur, who's another member of parliament, has only cost 25 to 30 crores of rupees, and it's a beautiful, fantastic stadium. And 114 crores here. The CBI has already served them 4 notices. The first was served on the 23rd of October. So the criminal aspect will be looked into now. I mean, after all, I told you the fraud companies, the WikiLeaks for India, they had gone. Sun Star newspaper, they had gone, and you saw it. It's saying in Hindi, "Pratyaksh ko praman ki avashyakta nahi padti hai." So I'm only feeling sad that a defamation case has not been filed against me.
You seem to be almost daring Arun Jaitley to file a defamation case against you. What is that about?
Why should I dare? No, why should I dare him? The question is, why should AAP, which is a party of yesterday, take away all the investigation, the paperwork and other things that was done by NCT Cricket of Delhi, which is headed by Bishan Singh Bedi. We were 150 first-class cricketers there. A lot of people from the executive committee, a lot of members of the DDCA who've been writing. So, these are the people actually should have happened on us. The AAP has taken it away, and they're trying to take political advantage of it, which I don't think so is correct.
There's some people who are accusing you of jumping onto the AAP bandwagon. There have been whispers that you were the one who kind of helped AAP bring this out into the open all over again. How do you respond to those accusations? I know you've been bringing up this issue before, but the charges that you're sort of jumping onto this bandwagon now and making a big deal out of it because the AAP has seized an opportunity, how do you respond to that?
You should say it is alleged that you are helping. You shouldn't say that you are doing. So that would be a better way to say it. You can go onto the net. You didn't say alleged earlier, so I reminded you. That doesn't matter, but you should remember that. This is all on public domain, except for the letters that are write to the Prime Minister. Even if I send somebody to a hospital, that's on the net. You go to my account, I put all these letters on the net so that it is in public view, so people can come forward and do it. They just had 4 or 5 letters of mine that they were flashing.
And
but I have a full 200 letters. I have got these.
What about the videos that you were showing yesterday?
Wait. Yes, videos.
No, so I'm saying
Correct.
that you never...
The AGM, yes, we have done.
You can
see
correct
these
me if I'm
papers.
wrong. When was
Hold
the
on.
last time you held
These
a
are
press
messages.
conference?
Wait.
When was the last time you held a press conference with the videos and with all of and all these papers you have on the net? You're right. And made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Is it
This
the
is
timing?
also this
I'm
is the
asking about the timing.
email that I've sent. Now ask me a question.
No, so I'm saying I'm asking about
What
the
timing I did? I didn't do that. The timing is CBI raided Mr. Kejriwal. Mr. Kejriwal had a problem. He said it was the DDCA papers they were seeing. He was hijacking my my corruption thing that I had taken up for a very long time. It was my stand. It was the stand of NCT, Bishan Singh Bedi and 150 other cricketers. We had been doing that. So obviously I felt bad about it.
You could have done the same thing 6 months ago.
Well, I did. I've been doing that for 9 months, from 9 years ago.
At this scale, at this level?
It's been in public domain.
But let me ask you, Mr. Azad,
because nobody would listen. You people also won't do it. You people also never did it. I don't know why you've woken up after AAP has taken it up and blaming me.
So let me ask you, Mr. Azad, that on this question of daring Arun Jaitley to drag you to court, you have. I mean, you've tagged him in a tweet this morning saying...
He's my leader.
No, but you, come on, you're smiling even now, but you're virtually telling him, come and sue me. So what is the real, what is the politics behind this?
I should cry.
He is after all a senior BJP leader as well. Hasn't this created a very embarrassing situation for your party?
Have I created it? I'm simply saying is that we have given it on a platter to AAP. It should have stayed at home. They should have put defamation case on me. I could have said sorry, taken it back, if at all I felt if there was any truth in it.
And when Amit Shah met you, what did he tell you? Did he tell you not to do this press conference? Did he encourage you not to do this press conference?
I got a fantastic... I had a lovely breakfast. He asked me how it was. I said fantastic, and lovely coffee.
And you didn't discuss this press conference? Come on. Amit Shah didn't tell you not to do it.
Why should I discuss with you what I discussed with him? It's between the president and me. It's classified.
And are you willing to face any action that the party may take against you as a result of this?
Why would the party take any action against me? Have I spoken against the party? Have I spoken against the government or its policies? I've spoken about corruption since 9 years ago.
You don't think that the party will act
Why
against
you? Unnecessarily
You're targeting a senior
put words
minister.
in my mouth.
I'm saying that you're making very serious accusations against a senior minister, and the party is clearly concerned. I'm saying, are you ready to face any action that may come your way? You could be suspended.
No, I have been pointing fingers at the corruption that took place at the then president from 2008. What has it got to do with the finance minister now? I'm talking about the then president who happened to be today's finance minister. Now you're trying to put 2 and 2 together and unnecessarily creating a problem with me and my leaders and party. Since when BCCI is a political matter?
Are others in the BJP supporting you?
Since when BJP has been supporting that? Don't you think?
Are other BJP MPs and leaders supporting you? Are other BJP leaders and MPs supporting you in this?
Everybody is talking to me. There's no question who doesn't support when it comes to a matter of corruption. The Prime Minister is fighting corruption. I'm a great fan of his.
So are you saying if the Prime Minister is serious about fighting corruption, he should act on this particular, on the DDCA issue that you're bringing up?
Well, I've been talking about it since 2008. I mean, not 2008, 2006. And the total NCT cricket of Delhi led by Mr. legendary Bishan Singh Bedi, former India captain.
All right. Well, Kirti Azad, thank you very much for joining us. You clearly are not willing to give up this fight.
You haven't asked me the technical problems.
No, we've already played out all the entire press conference.
You should ask me the technical problems.
This is really more about the politics
where
of
the fraud is.
No, we carried your entire press conference yesterday, and we will be following it up, Mr. Azad, with a discussion right now.
Case have been filed against the auditor.
No, we're going to get into the merits of the charges
by the Register of Companies for window dressing of accounts.
All right, well, Mr. Azad,
even by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, who are going to cancel his license to
we
do work.
We will debate the merits of the charges as well.
Madam, fraud company, fraud accounts.
No, you're absolutely right. There are charges that you've made that have to be investigated as well. Thank you for joining us. This was really more to understand the politics of what's going on with you and with the BJP at the moment, since you are a senior party MP. Thank you, Mr. Azad, for joining us.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक मुस्त होकर श्री अरुण जी के साथ खड़ी है और देश की जनता भी उनकी पारदर्शी जीवन शैली है और सार्वजनिक जीवन में जिस उच्च सिद्धांतों के साथ अरुण जी जिए हैं इसके साथ खड़ी है। अगर आप पार्टी ऐसा मानती है कि इससे अरुण जी की छवि धूमिल होगी तो मुझे लगता है कि वो दिवा स्वप्न में है, इससे उनका ही नुकसान होने वाला है।
Well, joining us here in the studio, two commentators tonight, senior journalist Padma Rao and Sabha Naqvi, and we've got Ashish Khaitan of the Aam Aadmi Party and Sambit Patra of the BJP as well. Sambit, to you first, hasn't this actually now turned into Arun Jaitley and the BJP versus the BJP and Kirti Azad more than it is about Arun Jaitley versus the Aam Aadmi Party?
No, I do not see it this way. Nidhi, I would rather say in a very rhetorical tone that our Kirti in Bharatiya Janata Party is Azad. Just imagine the Ghulam in Congress, Ghulam Nabi in Congress. What happens if he becomes equally Azad? I mean, this is the difference between a dynastic and a democratic party. A dynastic party, no one is Azad even if they may carry a name Azad in there. But over here, certain questions have been asked. The questions have been answered on the floor of parliament. Leave aside anywhere else.
Polemics.
On the floor of parliament, these questions were taken and these questions were answered with a democratic bent of mind. That is the beauty of this party. But how much merit does these questions carry? And is it really a case of corruption? And is Mr. Jaitley's name being defamed in the wrong way? Is the question to which I would say yes.
Why don't you ask Kirti
Mr. Jaitley
Azad?
has nothing to do with it.
Why don't you ask Kirti Azad then why he keeps on raising it if you believe it's completely baseless? Why doesn't the party act against him? He's now pretty much blamed Mr. Jaitley completely.
No, what Mr. Azad does is a separate issue. I am not going to get into the internals of the party, which I best leave to the party as such. But as far as the merit of the case is concerned, why do I have to ask anything to Mr. Kirti Azad when the SFIO, which was constituted on the same allegations that Mr. Azad is making today by a government which was not a friendly government, and the whole judgment was delivered way back in 2013. So why should I be posing questions to Mr. Kirti Azad when the SFIO has already spoken on two counts? Number one, that there was no fraud. Number two, that Mr. Jaitley has nothing to do with it because he was presiding over most of these meetings as a non-executive chairman and he was not involved in the day-to-day activities of the DDCA.
Okay, before I get Ashish into this summit, let me get a commentators Padma and Sabha. Padma, do you believe that there needs to be another probe? Because the allegations that are leveled are quite serious and they are not just coming from Kirti Azad and the Aam Aadmi Party. They are also coming from former cricketers and people like Bishan Bedi who are talking about serious things like fake bills, shell companies, fake companies being given money that have addresses that don't exist. Look, do we need to go into this with a more thorough investigation?
Nidhi, whether we need to, obviously any allegations made on charges of corruption against anyone in the country need to be probed. I mean, this goes without saying. What is more distressing is the fact that there is a familiar pattern that our country has been following for 67 years, most of which I have lived, on this earth, in this country. And I can tell you one thing, this whole political vendetta business, it's become almost like a Kal Chakra, I mean, one has to take it karmically now. This is an evil which is not going to go away from our politics. You will have, whether the Congress party is in power, whether the BJP is in power, miraculously cases are suddenly reach their fruition against the opposition when there is a particular party in power. Miraculously or not so miraculously, the opposition starts crying political vendetta. That party comes back to power, the same thing happens again. The other almost necessary evil that we have learned to live with in 67 years is the transferring of IAS officers. So these are things where I see, the most distressing part of this whole thing for me, of course there has to be a probe, that goes without saying, all probes on all charges. But the point is that what is distressing to me is the fact that nobody seems to be thinking of the 230 crore rupees per season, per sitting of parliament, that this country is costing, this kind of hold up in parliament is costing the taxpayer. It is a political vendetta on all sides. I think it's high time that there was some legislation introduced to prevent Parliament from being log-jammed, maybe a kind of moratorium, during the first year of any party entering, taking over, saying that, for that 1 year, all cases we
just
so
want to
that
say-
we, the taxpayer who are spending 2.5 lakhs a day of our money on a moribund
Sabha, has the
Parliament,
narrative
are not
changed
cheating.
now with
And we get
Kirti
some
Azad?
work out
No,
of it.
Getting into this-
the episode with Kirti Azad and Aam Aadmi Party, the Parliament logjam is a different thing. Let's discuss it with Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. The whole sequence began with the CBI raid in the Delhi Secretariat. Let's be very clear about the sequence of events, which well-placed sources in the BJP, all of them deny they had anything to do with, which is hard for people to digest. It began with that. Then Aam Aadmi, any elected government would be completely enraged. I mean, imagine CBI landing up at the office of any secretariat anywhere in the country. There would be rage. Let's be clear about one thing. And secondly, I mean, the whole sequence, the way it's played out right now, I think that the BJP would like to make it Arvind versus Jaitley. But let's be very clear, Mr. Kirti Azad is not alone. There is an entire section in the BJP which is backing him, which is relishing what is happening. And that is something the BJP can't deny. And so certainly the AAP press conference was the catalyst for this issue to get so much.
Let me to that extent, I do agree with Sabha. I think Sambit can't dodge the question. There is obviously these are two party members. One a senior
Very
who's a
publicly,
minister, and the other is a very famous cricket star, and he has made certain allegations.
I'm going to come to that.
You cannot
But
dodge that. You have to address
Ashish,
it.
what is the message that the Aam Aadmi Party has got today from the defamation cases that have been filed? Because to a lot of people, it would seem that, Mr. Jaitley has decided that he's going to walk the talk. I mean, he said a few days ago that he wouldn't sue. And now he's enraged enough to go ahead and do that and file a criminal defamation case as well. What is the message according to you?
Well, every time there is a defamation case against a journalist or a political adversary, the message is very clear. The message is to gag. The message is to zip up. The message is that don't speak up, otherwise I will drag you to the court. So it is used as a tool of intimidation and as a tool of threat. And the history of Aam Aadmi Party is replete with defamation cases, with court cases. So this is not something which is new for us, and we are not going to be dissuaded or intimidated by this tactic.
May I ask, Ashish?
Well, having said that,
Go ahead.
I heard Mr. Patra at length, and for the past few days, Nidhi, if you can recall, the BJP spokespersons have been quoting different sections of SFIO reports and this report and that report, and basically claiming that there is nothing untoward, there is no financial irregularity and everything is kosher. But what we forget is that Chetan Chauhan, the current president of DDCA himself, has gone on record to say that yes, there were financial irregularities, there was financial bungling, but there was somebody else who was responsible. All what we are saying is that such is the scale of financial irregularity and such is the expanse of the period during which this irregularity has happened, that it demands a probe which is honest, which is fair and which is independent.
Why didn't you say that before?
And this.
Why didn't you say that
can
before?
I
Why
complete,
does it take
ma'am?
you so long?
And
You are yet to file an FIR, Ashish. You made the accusation. You first went to the media.
Oh,
Mr.
okay, let me make this very
Kejriwal
clear.
first went to the media.
And it
Ma'am,
happened
I
after
heard
the
you.
raid.
Ma'am, I
It
heard
happened
you.
after the raid.
Ma'am, I
And
can respond.
you
I
are
heard
yet
you.
to file an FIR.
Ma'am, I heard
If you are so convinced,
Ma'am, I
why
heard
didn't you do it
Please.
before?
Let him answer. Let him answer. I mean,
let me just,
Ashish, the point is that as Kirti
let me
Azad
just
himself
inform
said,
you. Nidhi,
he's been
I
raising these
heard you.
issues. He's been raising these issues for years now. They've been on his website. So if AAP wanted it, it could have raised this issue 6 months ago, and it has come up today, coincidentally, right
Yeah,
after the
Right
raid
after the CBI
on the
raid.
Secretariat.
Yeah.
This is a very good question, Nidhi. I'm glad that
Sure,
you
go
have
ahead.
asked this question. Now look at the chain of events. This was in the month of July that we got representations. We got representations from Kirti Azad, Bishan Singh Bedi and other players of all that they had been saying for the last few years, including on the floor of the House. Then in the month of July, we also got a letter from the Ministry of Sports, Union Government of India, saying that we have got these representations and there are some debates on the floor of the House. Kindly look into the matter because sports is a state subject. Following which we constituted a 3-member committee. That committee submitted its report on November 17th and the report was immediately made public. One of the recommendations of the committee was to set up a commission of inquiry, and within 3 weeks we face a raid by the CBI which was not only unprecedented but was also completely uncalled for and unjustified. In last 6 days, the CBI has not been able to produce an iota of evidence of anything that was irregular.
Okay, let me just ask Sambit though, that Sambit, if there's nothing to hide and everything is above board, then would you welcome this inquiry that the AAP government is now set up with Gopal Subramaniam? Would you say that, let's welcome it, go ahead, do your inquiry?
Let me answer point by point.
Sure.
Number one, Ashish Khaitan saying that defamation is equivalent to intimidation is absolutely wrong. Since defamation case goes to the court of the land, can court intimidate? Does he mean to say that the Supreme Court or the High Court or the Patiala Court for that matter of purpose goes to the extent of intimidating any journalist or politicians? Absolutely no. Defamation means confidence. You have tried to defame a person and the person in question is confident about the fact that he is speaking the truth and he can take on you with facts on the floor of the court. That is what is the meaning of defamation. Secondly, you saying that SFIO spoke about irregularities and we are misquoting the SFIO. Let me categorically tell you, the portion that we have been quoting, which is the summary of the SFIO report, categorically states, well, yes, there are some technical irregularities which does not amount to fraud. You are saying there is fraud. We are saying no, there are irregularities, not fraud. Compoundable irregularities.
We are
Thirdly,
it's your
you just a second, I was not interjecting.
Okay, finish.
Just a second, I was not interjecting. Let me complete.
Then, Sambit, do you welcome
as far
the
as
probe?
the government letter, just let me complete, Kirti. I'm listening to everyone. All these facts should be known to the people.
Kirti, it's
The AAP party has been misquoting.
That's an interesting slip of tongue.
Just a second. As far as the government letter that Mr. Khaitan is talking about and the Aam Aadmi Party has been misquoting about a government letter being written to the Delhi government, let me tell you, this government letter is on one count. The count is, if the boxes that were built in this stated Kotla auditorium were permissions taken from MCD or not, and ask Mr. Khaitan to produce the document from MCD.
Sambit, my simple question is, do you welcome Gopal Subramaniam's probe? Do you welcome Gopal Subramaniam's probe? Does the BJP welcome it and say, bring it on? I mean, there's nothing to hide, there is no fraud, let him probe. Great. Do you welcome it?
No, who are we to welcome or not to welcome? It is for the courts to decide. Gopal Subramaniam, is he a Supreme Court retired judge or is he a judge from the High Court? Secondly, is the jurisdiction... No, just a second, Is it within the jurisdiction of Delhi? Is it within the jurisdiction of Delhi? I think let the courts answer. Already the CBI is looking into all this. Already the CBI is looking into all this. I am not questioning anyone's credentials. I am just saying, let the court answer this.
Okay. Sambit, I don't think Gopal Subramaniam's credentials can be questioned as his legal knowledge. I mean, there was...
Did I question Gopal Subramaniam's credentials? I did not. It was Mr. Arvind Kejriwal who said that a judge would be looking after the issue. Is Gopal Subramaniam a judge? I wanted to know that. That's all.
Can I make one comment? I mean, generally, this whole scenario that's unfolding before us, and really, I mean, Sambit thinking your name is Kirti Azad. I'm just saying, it's the way the BJP used to be. So we are seeing, just one second, we are seeing signs. It's a party where people disagree, where they fight. They've been very quiet and careful for the past year since Mr. Shah and Modi came to Delhi. Now we are seeing this sort of things coming out again. So let's see. I mean, let's not forget Uma Bharti was expelled and then she came back to the party. There have been a lot of explosions in the history of this party. So right now you're having a full-blown spat within the BJP.